Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you some tips on taking road trips with little children. Alright, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Claire. I'm the mother of two little boys, Fox, who is 2, and Desmond, who is just shy of 11 months. And this channel is all about mom stuff, lady stuff, and life stuff. You'll find hacks and tips and tricks, days in the life, all sorts of stuff, breastfeeding, all sorts of mom stuff like that. So if you're into it, definitely hit the subscribe button because I would love to have you. And now that spring is in the air, I'm sure you and your family have started making some travel plans. Here are a few tips and tricks and things that we used that really helped for a long car ride. The first one is a pretty easy one, and that is using ziplock bags for trash. Because no matter how old your children are here, this wouldn't have to be like a toddler age kid, but you never know what you're gonna need to throw away. And I think like using like a grocery bag or whatever doesn't work as well. Sometimes we use like Tupperware, but that takes up a lot more space, so I just keep a box of Ziploc bags in the car, and that way if we're eating something or it's sticky or it's wet, or you never know what you're going to be tossing as a mom, so Ziploc bags work really well for trash. My second tip would work for children of lots of different ages, but especially for those who are newly potty trained, and that is to set a potty timer on your phone. Now, the worst thing ever is when your kid goes, "I have to pee," and you're like not anywhere near an exit. And if your kids are older, then probably you can just say, well, just hold it for a few minutes. But my 2-year-old, it doesn't work that way. So we actually set a timer on my phone, and I have an alarm that goes off about every hour and a half-ish, and that way I can say, "Hey buddy, do you need to go potty?" And he'll be like, "Yeah." I'll be like, "Well, perfect, because we're pulling up to a speedway right now." That's just an easy way to avoid any accidents in the car, and even for older children, it can avoid at least probably a meltdown. If you're going on a long stretch of highway that doesn't have a rest area, you can kind of plan it a little bit better that way too. Alright, my third tip is about electronics, and this is probably a no-brainer, but unfortunately it has happened to me where the tablet dies, or, you know, something's not downloaded correctly, and that is to just the night before you go on your trip, make sure that your phones, your tablets, whatever you're taking entertainment-wise that's electronic is fully charged. Make sure that you have a charger, or like if you've got a battery bank, make sure that that's in a bag that's easily accessible. It's not like way in the back. You don't have to pull over to try to find it and all that stuff. And another good tip is remember that unless you have a mobile hotspot, or unless your tablet is like connected to your phone network, you are not going to have any access to the internet on that. So we need to make sure before we go that we get on Netflix while we're connected to our Wi-Fi at home, and we download some things for Fox. And also make sure that the games that we have for him on there can be used without the internet. So those are just some things you might want to take a look at the night before and make sure you have down. Alright, my next tip is for people of all ages, and that has to do with the music you listen to in the car. I know growing up, my sister and I always fought over what we were listening to in the car. So if you have older children, it might be a good idea to get them involved. Pick a number of songs. Everybody gets to choose 5 songs or whatever, depending on how long your road trip is. I just go on Spotify. Obviously, my son Fox is now old enough to choose his own songs, but I can go through and pick songs that my husband and I both like that are appropriate for Fox, and that will keep him happy and engaged musically while we are driving. So having that all set up before we go definitely decreases the chances of a meltdown. Alright, and my very last tip is my favorite and most useful one, and that is to have a well-stocked restaurant bag. Now, I could probably do a whole separate video on my restaurant bag, and it's a bag that I permanently keep in the car. It doesn't leave unless we're going to the restaurant or I'm restocking it, and inside just has everything you need to entertain a child if you stop somewhere to get something to eat. So a lot of times we'll have little toys, crayons, snacks, and food, because you don't want a hungry child sitting there getting all antsy, waiting for food to come. We keep hand sanitizer and a bib, and every child, depending on their age, is going to have different things in the restaurant bag. So this actually stays in my car all the time, but before going on a road trip, we definitely restock it, make sure that it has everything in it. That way, if we need to make a quick stop, we can just grab it and go, and it will keep the kitties entertained and avoid more meltdowns. All right, you guys, those are all of my tips and tricks for you for riding in the car with little children. I hope you found them useful. If you have any more, definitely leave them down below, because I'm always looking for ways to make those car rides a little easier. So that would be great. And make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and of course, come back for more mom stuff, lady stuff, and life stuff. New videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!